everyone. Welcome to the St. Patrick's Day special of ShitFlix. I happen to be under the legal drinking age in my part of the country, so I'm sober as a chipmunk and just chipper because of it. This guy over here, though, you can call him Mr. Hangover, you know what I'm saying.
I'm sober!
The what?
Dude, I've been sober for 5 months, man.
Okay. Just kill that fucking joke in its tracks. Sorry to assume. I just figured, Irish.
Doesn't mean I'm any less Irish.
No, of course not. You're comfortable in your Irishality. Alright, how about you just say the name of the fucking movie? How about that?
Leprechaun 2.
Leprechaun 2. It's a movie.
Now,
okay.
My sci-fi fantasy nerdy fans and friends out there. Y'all know Warwick Davis, right?
Oh, everyone knows Warwick. You don't have to say sci-fi fantasy. Everyone knows Warwick.
Yeah, he's the leprechaun in all these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
And he is loving every second of it. And that's probably the only thing that can keep me going through these damn things. I mean, No, plot.
Yeah, okay, plot. Well, as you know, St. Patrick's Day, or close to it. So we Leprechaun. That's about the only reason we picked it.
Leprechauns and stuff.
Yeah,
that's just how it works.
Whatever. This particular movie has Warwick Davis as, I think it's just the Leprechaun. They never really give him a name.
I think they do. I just don't remember it.
Point being,
regardless,
the Leprechaun. 1,000 years ago, back in Ireland, they had this I don't know, just encounter with the Leprechaun
because stuff, He actually has a backstory. I will give you that much. I mean, they don't have any backstory in the first one.
They had the one guy who was a slave to the Leprechaun, and he just, I don't know, became a slave. Did they really have a reason why he was a slave?
He tried to steal his gold.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so they had him as a slave, and the guy said, "Oh, I'll give you your freedom as soon as I get married to whoever I want," because of 3 sneezes. Not that big of a fucking deal, but they seem to make it be like 3 sneezes.
There is an old wives' tale or whatnot where the whole thing is if you sneeze 3 times in a row and there's no one around to say God bless you or something like that, either A, you're cursed, or B, no one likes you.
Well, I'll go by the latter rules. So then,
I think they go through it in Rurouni Kenshin. Check that out.
Anyway, I'm going to speed through this. It's taking forever. They encounter that it is his daughter who he plans to marry, and so he's like, "Nope, I said God bless you, fuck you, Leprechaun." And he runs off, and Leprechaun comes back and he's like, "In 1,000 years, I'll find your kin and I'll fuck them crazy."
Why did he choose 1,000 years?
Because that would put it in modern day age.
Why would it choose 1,000 years?
No.
1,000's a long time to get your rocks off, dude. Man, seriously.
No. He could have gotten... No, wait, he didn't. He actually said he didn't. Alright, never mind. Anyway, fast forward to today.
He's been celibate for 1,000 years? Man, what the hell is your
Fast forward... Shut the fuck up. Fast forward to today. He got all the way over to Los Angeles somehow. Through that 1,000 years. And...
He's in Harry Houdini's tree.
He met... You want to tell the plot?
No.
Shut the fuck up. He's hanging out in L.A. and he manages to come across this teenager who is the descendant of what's-his-face from the beginning. And so he's like, "I'm going to marry you!" But she's seeing this one boy who's, of course, the hero boy. He's like, "We gotta save Bridget." His name's Cody, her name's Bridget. And then there's Morty. We'll get to Morty. So Cody and Morty are like, "We gotta save Bridget." So they start fighting off the Leprechaun, and they find in this book thing that some wrought iron can take him out. So he's after this gold coin that Cody got, and he's after Bridget, so they keep on trying to trade, but they can't trust each other. It's kind of weird. People die, and then
5 people die.
5 people die. The body count is 5. People die, and then they...
One pair of tits is seen.
Yeah, we'll get to that maybe too. Then we get to the end, and he ends up in the Leprechaun's cave thing inside Harry Houdini's tree. And then they stab him with the wrought iron, and
they run away.
and then smash cut to credits.
Yeah, it cuts.
Super smash.
I think it cuts like in halfway through a shot.
Oh my god, it was terrible. It was like, there's the coin lying on the ground. Eerie music begins to play. They walk down the stairs. They turn to kiss.
Then
cut.
Credits.
It's like, I think something was about to happen, guys.
I don't know. Either way.
Alright, so where do we want to start in this movie?
Well, I will say we'll start with the characters.
Okay.
And that also blends in with the actors on this one because, especially when you... This is really... I mean, to be honest, it's not with every film genre, but it is especially with horror films. That usually the character type is entirely dependent on how the actor plays the character written down. Regardless of how the words are written down, it's how you play the character that determines the character type. Now, when you have Bridget, she's just a cunt in the beginning.
No. At the very beginning...
She's resourceful.
Hold on. At the very beginning, they have this whole thing happen where he has to work with Morty, and so he has to call off her date, essentially. She's just like, God damn it, Cody, every time. And so then she goes off to the date that she was apparently going with some friends, and then this one dude's just like, straight up, so, yeah, you and him, totally done, right? Just sorry, bro, are you cool with this? Just, oh! He's just not even giving a shit. And
she's kind of like...
Bridget's just like, yeah, fuck you, making you jealous.
It's like...
You jelly?
And then, of course, when they both get back to her house, she's like, alright, bye. He's like, dude,
Whoa.
What?
You said your parents weren't home, right?
Dude, you were using me to cock tease your boyfriend the entire time.
Now you're cock teasing me?
Yeah. I'm like, wow, she's someone who knows how to work the system.
Manipulative bitch. Or as he liked to say earlier, resourceful.
Yeah. Yeah. She's yeah.
As soon as she's trapped in the Leprechaun cave, she basically disappears for the entirety of the plot.
She's just she's Princess Peach.
Yeah.
And she's just Princess Peach for Mario to come and get. This happens to be Cody this time.
Yep.
And
talk about Cody.
I guess Morty should have been Luigi, but he fucked that up.
Why, Morty?
He's the best actor in this besides Warwick
Cody.
Davis.
Talk about Cody.
I don't give a shit about Cody.
I'll talk about Cody then.
Talk about Cody.
Cody's the main character boy thingy besides the Leprechaun. He's the main protagonist. If we're going to talk about characters and acting, I have to talk about this really quick. Dear God. At least in the beginning of the film, I kind of just ignored it towards later, but in the beginning, he was not doing his stuff as an actor, man. It was like he was waiting for the guy's line to finish, and then he would start to act. In the meantime, he was just kind of like, and I'm waiting. And
that's how background extras on stage performances behave.
Exactly.
It's like, alright, the spotlight not on me, I can just chill. I get another couple minutes before it's on me.
And towards the end, I don't know if it got better, or maybe he just didn't have to wait for the other people's lines, but it got better. Maybe. Or at least I ignored it. But as a character, he's your generic, like, I'm gonna get my girl back! By any means necessary!
I'm gonna wreck it!
Bridget! I know where you live!
Also, her scream at the very beginning of the movie when she finds her dad is hysterical.
Yeah. Well, that's a different character, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's still the same actress. She looks at the original. But...
Alright, on to Morty, since we love him so much.
Morty's the guy who runs the little company that Cody and whatnot works for. Cody's parents died a couple of years back. He's technically his legal guardian.
He's the crazy uncle / grandpa thing.
He is a crazy person, and also his greed does him in.
His greed.
He is probably one of the more gnarlier deaths, even though you don't really see much.
There's what is it? Death number 1 is just kind of like strangled in midair, pretty much.
Yeah.
Death number 2 is lawnmower to the face.
Yeah, that one was interesting.
Okay.
That's where the nude shots come in.
Once Bridget was cock teasing that guy, and then she left. The Warwick Davis character then came forward and created an illusion of Bridget and said, "Hey, I totally want your dick now.
Come on, get it."
And she started taking off her top, and that's the one shot that is nudity in this entirety of this film. But it was all just an illusion. And what was in its place that was actually there was
Like a
upright lawnmower blades just...
And
So he went... dead. That
then
was...
he strung him up and like hanging upside down from the porch, kind of like you would see scream.
That was pretty messed up, man.
It was kind of silly.
But anyway, yeah, Morty, like you said, it was his greed. Throughout the entirety of the thing, he's like, "Yeah, kid, let's get this leprechaun." And it seemed like he was doing it to help Bridget. But then they trapped the leprechaun.
Nah, he wants his wishes.
He gets the 3 wishes for trapping a leprechaun. That's like Leprechaun 101. So he traps him and he says, "All right, leprechaun, you in there. Now, I want your gold." And Warwick Davis in there like, "Okay."
Yes,
The
inside.
pot of gold is inside him.
He's
So
like,
then Jigsaw pops up on the screen and informs him.
the only way is to cut open his own stomach.
So then he makes
And then Warwick does it for him.
yeah, he makes a second wish and says, "I wish you out of the safe." And he's like, "You gotta open the safe. It's iron rod. I can't get out." He's like, "All right."
So he really wasted his second wish.
And then the third one was, "All right, get it out of me." He's like, "Okay."
Rip, pull.
Pull out.
It's like, I missed you.
Man, send it away.
Let me go, kind.
So yeah, that was a very normal.
I mean, I'm sorry. Almost, I haven't seen every single one of these movies when it comes to the Leprechaun movies, but all the ones that I have seen, it's always one coin is missing, and some unlucky fucker has it.
it's the Pirates of the Caribbean plot.
But this movie came beforehand, so really Pirates of the Caribbean stole it off of Leprechaun.
Ooh, that's some fighting words.
Hey, to be honest, actually, Troll, the first movie Troll, has like it's all about magical, whimsical shit and whatnot. One of its main characters, Harry Potter.
Like Daniel Radcliffe?
No, the character is named Harry Potter.
Holy shit.
This movie came out years before Harry Potter was ever even released. So, did J.K. Rowling get her inspiration from Troll?
Did Pirates of the Caribbean get its inspiration from Leprechaun?
To be honest, actually,
We'll
one of the
never
best.
know.
No, William S. Burroughs, the Beatpo writer. One of the best things you can say is do like you can read some obscure shit, like or watch some obscure movie that no one will ever fucking see or remember. There'll be that one line or that one segment that works really well. It's like, all right, mine.
Unless you're Shia LaBeouf, and then it backfires.
Or else you can be James Cameron and make a career
All
out
right.
of it.
Anyway, why did we love Morty so much? We never covered that. We just
He
said
was
he
just fun. He was
was-
nutty. He
yeah.
was drunk. He was
well. The main
he wasn't
char-
overdone.
The main
Even though he
character.
was so over the top.
The main
He's
character
like,
was
"Eat your
generic
face."
protagonist the whole time. He's just like, "I'm gonna get Bridget. I've got flavors.
Yeah,
I love the girl."
Why is it that the supporting characters are always more interesting than the leads in these movies?
Because the lead characters have to follow strict archetypal rules if you want to make your money back, guaranteed. Supporting characters, they're just there for comedic relief, and you can do almost anything in the generic blockbuster form.
I've got nothing.
Yeah. So, but no, he was just cracking one-liners every once in a while, like, "Yeah, Morty, he's got." And the one part
It's Morty. It's Morty.
the one part that I fully agreed with, like I knew that I just loved this character was Cody was being framed essentially by the Leprechaun for these murders and for capturing Bridget, and so then he going to see Morty. Morty's standing out there talking to cops. Morty just turns to Cody, he's like, and I was like, "Damn straight! Don't tell them pigs nothing."
Yeah, man, you don't snitch, you don't do that.
Yeah, man. And then he just walked away. And I was like, "Good job, Morty. He knows what to do." I liked it.
That time.
Yes. And then he fucks it up because of greed.
Yeah. Greed is not good. Don't be Gordon Gekko.
We got to talk about Warwick.
Warwick was just having a ball.
He was. I
wonder if he really was drinking real whiskey
Real
on the set.
There was a scene where Morty was trying to drink him under the table just to get him to point out where Bridget was. And then he's like trying to use his telekinetic powers, which he now has. And he's like got an ashtray. He's like, "I'm good. Just gonna shit."
So what are you trying to do? Like hit somebody in the head with that?
Yeah.
The speed it was going, it'd be like.
Yeah, that's the character. He has 3 powers that apparently just happened. Telekinetic, move stuff with his brain. Invisibility, not just illusions in general. And then, as far as we can tell, teleportation. While it's never outright said, he's like A to B in 0.5 seconds, constantly. And the whole thing's from earlier film, where it's like cleaning shoes and a 4-leaf clover.
Yeah,
Nothing.
the 4-leaf clover has no point. I mean, it's not even brought up in this movie.
Not even the least. There wasn't one cleaning shoe thing.
And that was the shit that saved the day at the end of the first movie.
Yeah. This one was wrought iron, and that was that even mentioned in the first one?
No, because it wasn't a thing.
I guess they just changed their lore. Whatever.
I guess so.
All right.
Congratulations.
Moving on. Let's go to writing.
It was better
Yeah.
than the first movie.
Woo.
It was better than what I expected. Doesn't mean it was good.
No.
But it still was better. It was better, and I was delightfully surprised. I can understand that.
You would imagine most... Actually, here, it's going to be flipped. I can never tell which way I'm sitting on YouTube. Let's say that this is when years started, okay? It's just a downhill thing of quality with each movie. That's how you expect most things to go. Like, it's like, what is it? The Superman series. The original 4 films. It was like Superman 1, Superman 2, Superman 3, dear God.
Even though I personally, it was kind of
What, all the way down to the bottom the whole time?
like... Yeah, I'm not a fan of Superman
Whatever.
movies.
But generally...
Fuck Christopher Reeve.
Generally accepted. Ooh, careful.
Just because he got injured don't mean he's a fucking saint. He's dead now.
Point being, there's that. And then this one, it seemed to be like first one, second one, whatever the fuck happened for the rest. Just production value wise.
Coin.
Yeah.
Give us our coin.
That's all it is. But yeah, right?
Even the skeleton was like, yeah, coin, coin.
I wasn't even sure what was happening there, because it obviously wasn't an illusion. So is he just...
No, he was controlling the skeleton. He's
with
like,
telekinesis?
give me the coin. Come on, man. Enough. Just give me my coin back.
Whoa. I need it. Oh, that's the whole thing.
And you know what? If Warwick wasn't so goddamn greedy and whatnot, and he had just given the damn girl back in exchange for the coin, none of this problem would have ever happened.
But that's your genetics, man.
No,
his genetics are being like, I have to have it.
No, it's not that. It's because
it's a leprechaun.
People can't write plot holes.
Nah, he's a leprechaun. His whole thing is gold, 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 gold. That was the one thing we didn't bring up. Cody, as long as he has the coin, the leprechaun couldn't directly kill him.
Which did not work in the first movie, and I don't think any other movie.
Okay.
The lore kind of just goes
it
back
just
and
does
forth
whatever's
on this
convenient for the plot.
Yeah, it changes constantly. So
Yeah.
I'm like, you have no strict canon here.
To be fair,
there's no multiverse theory in this one. You're not marveling the shit out of this one.
Damn it.
No.
Are you sure? Because
No. Fuck you.
All right. Moving on from there. Do you want to direct things?
What was his name? Nolan
Emmerich? No.
Nolan Emmerich was not this
I don't
bad.
know. I think Flanders. No.
Except I don't know.
Fleming,
White House Down.
Roland. Let's call him R. R directed this film. And
Roland directed this film.
And there was only like 3 times that I looked at it and I was like, that wasn't a good choice.
Most of the time it was just competent. I mean, it was just a kind of shoot on the fly type of film. It's just how it is.
There was no point in there where I was like, oh shit. Yeah, geniuses.
Much better production value.
Yeah, that's, I guess, technical aspects of hopping over that. It looked better, but maybe that was just time passing, like better technologies were more readily available. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It was filmed in 1993, released in 96, 95, around there.
Wow, that's
Yes.
a long time to keep that on the shelf. It's not as bad as the deathbed, the bed that eats, which was like canned for like 30 years on the shelf, but still.
Point being, yeah. The only reason that I know
3
that
years.
is because apparently in the IMDb trivia they said that Sister Act 2 was playing in the background on one of the theaters.
Wow. Yeah, that does date the
Placement.
movie just a tad.
Yeah. All right. So this movie's as old as me. That's what we've covered. What else? What else? What else? I can't really think of anything else. This movie was so just okay.
It was well, comparative with everything else we've seen before recently.
I really wanted
It's
it
a
to
nice
be like,
reprieve from Atlas Shrugged. At least shit happened.
I wanted it to be like last Leprechaun, like last year's St. Patrick's special, because that was fucking awful. Oh my god, that was terrible.
Yeah, but you know what? I didn't feel like suffering this year. So, you know, get Leprechaun 2.
All right, you want to give your final thoughts?
Final thoughts is that, you know, this movie was, it is what it is. I mean, like, it's a, try to be a campy horror film about a leprechaun. And it succeeds. It's exactly what it tries to be.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a good movie? I don't think really you can get a really good movie out of the subject matter. It's just that because the subject matter in and of itself is handicapped just by the fact that it is what it is. So, considering what it is, you've probably got, when it comes down to, of all of these Leprechaun movies that I've seen thus far, you've probably got the best incarnation of what the character and the canon it all represents and is about. So, all in all, this is probably the best Leprechaun film in this series that I have seen. Interestingly enough.
Okay.
But that's it.
For me, well, I don't know. This movie was, like you said, it was setting out to be a campy horror film, and it was a campy horror film. It wasn't trying to be anything. I can't fault the movie for failing for anything. Everything it tried to do, it did.
It tried.
It tried to be a campy horror film. It succeeded in being a campy horror film. I can fault movies all the time for trying and failing at things. Like, if you try to be a dramatic piece, but you end up being The Room. I can fault you for that. But this one, it tried to be exactly what it ended up being, so I can't fault it for anything. In the end, it was just a semi-enjoyable little thing. Did it have its faults? Yes, totally. It completely had its faults. The editing was a bit shaky at times. There was one shot in particular where it was like a quick pullback with the camera. It was like...
Yeah, that was very not. Yeah. It was too Hunger Gamesy.
Yeah. Oh, God. So, yeah, all in all, it was a competent film.
Yeah, burn that movie, too.
But I can't speak for the Leprechaun series. All I know of the Leprechaun...
I cannot speak for the Leprechauns of the world. Sorry.
All I know of the Leprechaun series is that Back to the Hood and In the Hood are like, what the fuck? And what Nostalgia Critics' review of the original Leprechaun was. Oh, and Cinema Snob, he was in that too.
Yeah.
That's all I know about this entirety of this series. So, when it came down to it, in the end, this was an alright movie, but when it comes to like the Leprechaun lore and everything, do you know the only exposure to leprechauns I've like ever had in the way of media?
What?
They're after me, Lucky Charms!
That's Raisin Bran.
That's racist.
All the bad boys want some more, it's tricky. And girls enjoy, they feel so lucky. Loving it, quits running out that door. Calling their mom while they lick the floor. How the funky monkeys out and walking stores. They're lost side and rolling like a rapper cord. Who can believe that there would be some wrong with those worms, like I said before?
You know, I don't even like Raisin Bran.